Black and Blue City would like to announce that, acting upon the advice of his counsel, Bobby Jenks is elected not to comment on today's edition of BB&C. Meanwhile, anybody who thinks Ryne Sandberg should be the next manager of the Chicago Cubs, I strongly recommend you talk to your shrink and up your dose of Prozac. Welcome. The band, the battle is about to begin.
blackandbluecity.com with Kopic.
Let's meet our contestants. As always, they call him Dr. Love. He's got the cure you were thinking of. The man who represents Cubby Blue, our good friend Joel Radwanski, and the pride and joy of 35th Street and Billevec Drive, our good friend, 255 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, if you will, Mr. Matt Benson. Here is why Ryne Sandberg is not ready to be manager of the Chicago Cubs. In today's environment, you got to be a public relations man. 3 hours in front of the ball game, you got to meet with the press. After the ball game, when you get beaten 3-2, you got to meet with the press. Sandberg right now, not equipped for that. If you want to bring him up to the big leagues, bring him up as a coach, not as a manager.
I'll have to agree with you that, but I will say that Sandberg is a lot better now than when he was nicknamed Gabby when he came up with the Chicago Cubs because he never spoke. He's actually worked on it, and he works on a lot of things. He has a work ethic, so I don't think he's going to be as bad with the press as you might think, Chad. I think he's worked on it, and he can actually speak a little bit now, unlike when he was a player when it was brutal.
This team needs to go with a more veteran manager right now.
Yes.
They can't bring it in Sandberg right now. If we're going to go young, if they're going to get rid of some of these players and bring up a lot of these guys, Sandberg would be a perfect choice, but you can't do that with him.
He knows the farm system. He knows the players down there, and I do agree with you. If they can clear out all these bad contracts, bring him up and develop the players, but they're not going to be able to do that. I hope they can do it, but it's not going to happen, Chad.
Well, why, if you're Ricketts, why do you entrust the assignment of hiring a brand new manager to Jim Hendry? Why not clean house entirely?
Yeah, I totally agree. That was like nails to the chalkboard. When they asked him, is Hendry's job safe? And he said, yes, he's going to pick our new manager. Are you serious? Why is this guy going to pick our new manager? I mean, I will tell you this. The Cub minor league system is in better situation now than it has been in my whole entire lifetime. At least that's what we read. We don't know this. We don't know.
Is Ricketts just not really enough of a baseball man right now? And maybe he's leaving this with Hendry because he doesn't know which other direction to go? I'm sure he's got people that can tell him which way to go and direct him. But maybe he's thinking, why not let Hendry do this while I'm trying to learn this other stuff for another year or two and then get into it.
Or maybe he's like every other executive, and that was the dreaded vote of confidence. That's what I'm hoping it is.
All right, if I told you right now, Bob Brenly comes down from the booth in 2011, or 2010 rather, he manages the Chicago Cubs, are you buying?
Am I buying that? Your thought? I think Brenly should come down.
You know what?
How else would you be buying?
I'm not buying the Cubs winning, if that's what you're asking me. I do like Bob Brenly as the manager of the team, and I like Ryne Sandberg on the bench with him.
Well, one thing I'm afraid it might end up being a fan-friendly hire if they get Sandberg, and believe it or not, more people want Brenly than Sandberg, according to all the polls out there.
All right, stay with us. End of round one. When we come back, Bobby Jenks, the White Sox. Hey, what about Prince Fielder on 35th Street? We'll talk about it right here on blackandbluecity.com. blackandbluecity.com. Hey, Radwanski and Benson and I just got done debating this. I have a message to Tom Ricketts. If Jim Hendry walks in and says, you know what, we can't live without Ryne Sandberg as our next manager, you know what you do, Tom? You haul off and you hit Jim right in the nose. But we want your opinion. What do you think about Sandberg as the next manager of the Chicago Cubs? Let us know on Facebook. And always make it a point to check out Black and Blue City. All right, back we are, round two. Let's drift over to 35th Street. All right, Benson, if Bobby Jenks were here right now, how would you refer to him? Mr. Jenks or you fat slob?
You fat slob. I love Bobby Jenks. But, 2 games, it doesn't look good. You've got puts over there. You're going to have to start using some of these other guys and get Jenks angry. And I think that's what Ozzie did in May. And he fired him up and said, we're going to trade him. We're going to take him out of the closer's role. He gets all pissed off. He goes and says 15 games in a row. Let's do it again. Piss him off. Make him work for his job.
It worked in May. A lot of people around town wanted. If you don't have Mariano Rivera do a closer by committee, you have a guy by the name of Putz, whatever. You've got Thornton. You've got Jenks. Figure out what the best matchup is. Don't automatically hand it to him. And you know what? You're exactly right. In May, when they actually took the closer role away from him, he started dominating afterwards.
All right, put on your White Sox silver and black.
Okay. Okay.
If you're Kenny Williams, would you give up Gordon Beckham to obtain Prince Fielder?
I absolutely would have. And I'm sure you're going to have to give up more than just Gordon Beckham for that, but absolutely. And Gordon Beckham's starting to hit right now, which is very good for the White Sox. But when you're talking about a piece like that, a guy that can blast the ball to the ballpark, you still have Vizquel, you can put him in the lineup every day. Absolutely do I give up Beckham for him. Absolutely.
Can't do it.
You're
I
that
don't
much
know.
in love with him?
You know what? He's just one of these guys that if you trade him and he goes and plays 20 years in this stupid league and destroys you, you're going to regret it forever.
No, you're-
I can get rid of Hudson. I can get rid of Viciado. You know, I think
Those guys
two
can
pieces
destroy
are
you,
dead.
too. Those guys, you might
Yeah,
end up
they
being
could.
upset.
They
You're
could.
just mad because you have a Beckham tattoo on your butt. You just don't want it. That's the only reason why you don't want to give up to Gordon Beckham.
I just can't see it.
Let me tell you something about Prince Fielder that you're
Okay.
both overlooking. This guy's carrying a ton of weight. He's not going to go downhill like this. When he goes downhill, boom, it's going to be like that.
Too many carbohydrates. He's a vegetarian. You were at the top of the food chain as a human being. Prince, start eating some meat. You'll lose some weight.
All right, when we come back in round 3, we will determine a winner, number 1, and our winner will have the opportunity for his own FaceTime, his own rant, right here on Black and Blue City, right here on WCIU.com.
All right, guys, a fair foul question this week. For Sox fans out there, is Gordon Beckham an untouchable? Would you be willing to give him up to bring Prince Fielder to town for the next year and a half? Fair or foul, is Gordon Beckham an untouchable? Log on to blackandbluecity.com to vote.
Back to Lou Piniella. Anybody who thinks Lou Piniella is not going to manage again is crazy. This guy yearns to win 2,000 ball games. As we speak right now, he's at roughly 1,830 victories. Give him a year off, I guarantee you, Radwanski, he's back in the dugout.
Yeah, you know, he's mentioned a couple times when anybody has ripped him. You know, I've got 1,800 wins, almost 2,000. So I do think you're right about that because the guy doesn't have any great, statistics as a hitter. So maybe he wants to be remembered as a great manager. So I do think you're right
I
with
think
that.
he will be remembered as a great manager, but there's no way he comes back out. This man is so beaten right now. You said
Well,
Joe
wouldn't you
Torre's
be
3
beaten?
years older and he might still manage again. Pinella looks like he's 80.
Yeah, but
He looks like he's completely done.
If Pinella's willing to shave and actually tuck his shirt in, another team will give him a job in Major League Baseball.
I say he's done. I say you do not see him again.
All right, you know what? I'm saying you're wrong. Lou Piniella is box office. Lou Piniella is going to wind up in the Hall of Fame. If I got a ball club that's down in the mouth and I need a quick fix, I reach out to Lou Piniella.
It would have to be someone that needs a quick fix that has a veteran ball club. I know, like right now he's saying, I do play the rookies, and he has played the rookies this year, but I don't think he wants to deal with any type of growing pains. He wants to be able to fill out the lineup card and make a couple moves, and that's all I want to do.
All right, time. After 3 rounds of pugilism, your winner by majority decision. They call him Dr. Love. Mr. Joe Radwanski, it is rant time.
Okay, here goes my rant. As a diehard Cub fan, I do realize that this season is over, and I even said they need to move the pieces, trade people. Hopefully this was Ted Lilly's last start as a Chicago Cub, but it's Cardinal weekend this weekend. And when the Cards come to town, that means one thing. Chicago Cubs beat that butt. Go out there, Cub fans. Enjoy a good time. Cheer on your Chicago Cubs, and then after that, don't go back the rest of the season until the Cardinals come back.
And I'm telling you this, when the Cardinals come to town, it means one thing. When they see the price of calamari on the menu at Harry Carey's, they all go nuts and start heading down Highway 55. I'm Kopic for Benson Radwanski, our executive producer, Chris Shaw. We are out of here. This is Black and Blue City. So long, everybody.